Smells amazing. Mom, could you please slate? Thanks.
Scena 12B, take 2.
She does that like no one else does. My name is Matteo Rolfi, Matte for friends. I was born and raised in Italy, and for work reasons in 2015 I left my country and moved to Switzerland. This change of life has somehow influenced my personality and my way of thinking. New horizons have really opened up for me and opened up my mind. Living in a new place pushed me to travel and explore surroundings more. Maybe because they were just new surroundings, I guess. So this way I started taking my first photographs with a phone, with like a smartphone. I really liked the idea of being able to share these feelings of mine and these new places with other people, especially on social networks like Instagram, Facebook or whatever. Then one day on the advice of my father, I bought the first camera. Then the second one came, then I bought a video camera, and then slowly this passion got like out of control. It became a real obsession. It's almost a sickness. I call it sickness now. For about 2 years, I've embarked on a career in the photography and video advertising niche, and recently I'm also stepping into the filmmaking industry. At least I'm kind of trying. The production of this film was an idea of my father that we then developed together, of course. But in my head, it was a winner right from the start, and it made me immediately eager to produce it. I was really excited. I have to admit, and also I have to thank him for, let's say, putting up with me during the pre-production phases, on set when we filmed, during the video editing, and at the end when we prepared the last bits for the distribution. I mean, I do recognize that I have quite a difficult personality at times. He is not easy either, by the way. Let's say this was the first opportunity I had to collaborate with my father on a creative project, which unites us by the fact that my grandfather, his father, was an advertising director. It is like a closing circle. As a producer, I have to say that the more you invest your time and also your money in something, the more you have to lose. If you take one direction, you kind of have to follow it. It's very difficult to change, especially when everything has been planned or has been already done somehow. In fact, I have to admit this project has been a roller coaster of emotions with lots of ups and downs. On some days I was totally stoked. I watched the film, I really liked it, I felt emotions. On other days I hated it and I thought, let's stop, what are we actually doing? I often questioned myself if the time was worth it. So basically it was a constant swinging between plus and minus. It also depended a lot on the level of caffeine. After a coffee, you usually go back to plus. This work was actually finalized with what in the cinema industry is defined as a micro budget. So as you can imagine, there have been some limitations and obstacles which we have tried to simplify and resolve with a little bit of creativity and what we had available at the moment. Sometimes even with a bit politically incorrect decisions. So, thank you very much for being part of this. I would really appreciate if you can leave here below a sincere comment about the film, or even just any questions you might have. It's a pleasure for me being able to introduce you to my world, let's say. See you soon, hopefully, and cheers.
The four-leaf clover has been good luck for thousands of years. Thousands of years ago, in ancient Egypt, the four-leaf clover was the symbol of the goddess Isis. If someone found a four-leaf clover, it meant they were her protege. In 1600, at the time of the Celts, for the Druids, the four-leaf clover seemed to have the power to keep away evil spirits. About 300 years later, in modern times, a green four-leaf clover on a white background was painted as a lucky charm on an Alfa Romeo racing car. The driver, Ugo Savoci, wanted it to ward off bad luck because he never won and was considered an eternal second. That day, by chance, he won his first race. And it was in this way that the four-leaf clover became an unfailing good luck charm. For us, however, this myth has served as an inspiration to tell stories about ordinary people. For some time, the artist lived in his old house in the country, almost isolated, as if in a kind of spiritual retreat. In that place full of memories, he had found himself and his past. Living immersed in that atmosphere of peace and silence was, for him, a source of inspiration. While working, it was customary to listen to one of his old classical music records. Doing this helped him to have the right atmosphere to create.
Mettiamoci un po' di musica.
Living with art means having continuous mood swings, a bit like being on a roller coaster and having to deal with ups and downs all the time without breathing. To create works of art, you have to find new ideas and inspirations every day. But sometimes just this is not enough, because it can happen that the artist, after making a painting, is not at all satisfied. Time was passing quickly, and he still hadn't found the right inspiration to create the works for the new exhibition. So every day he was more and more nervous, until the point when he completely lost control. Even though he started working early in the morning in the following days, he couldn't find anything interesting to help him get out of that difficult period. But he still had to go on at all costs. As an artist, he knew that his great creative force would be seen. And it would also calm his art dealer, who nagged him and kept him under pressure daily.
Lo sapevo, tutti i giorni alla stessa... Ma impossibile! Tutti i giorni alla stessa ora! Oui, allora, creativo, come va? Hai pronti almeno 20 lavori? Lo sai che tra 2 mesi c'è la mostra e i clienti aspettano!
In order to regain the necessary calm and concentration, he decided to go for a walk in the open air. Being in contact with nature would certainly do him good. Inspiration always comes without warning and strikes you like a lightning bolt. Sometimes, just a closer look, a casual reflection, or a repeated thought. And here comes an idea, like an avalanche. It drags others and others, still becoming bigger and bigger. And then, the idea came. To look at nature around him from a different point of view. Imagine looking at it, enlarged, as one of those small living beings would have seen it. However, he immediately realized that nature is the true creator. It creates perfect geometric shapes, and there is nothing more harmonious. The artist understood that he would have to report onto the canvas in a personal way, even if it was just a single detail of what he had just observed. Loaded with ideas and inspiration, he returned to his studio and set to work immediately. He made quick and sure gestures. Nature had shown him the right path to follow. He worked for days without a break, and so one work after another, as in a continuous musical crescendo, the great exhibition came to life. The essence of the four-leaf clover. Owning a painting is not like owning just any object. To have a work of art means to preserve in time the thought and soul of the person who created it.
Magnifico.
Simon is a happy and sensitive soul who has great gifts and is very good at writing. And that's not just tapping your thumbs writing on a smartphone as his peers do. He writes with a pen. He writes stories, poems, tells about everything that moves him, and has many other passions. He loves art, music, cooking, fashion. He loves all those things that express beauty. Simon is an incurable romantic and an eternal dreamer. In fact, he was born under the sign of Pisces. He also likes to be alone and to take long walks. This helps him to reflect and get away from the stress of everyday problems.
Ask myself what I miss more. The thought of you, or you walking out the door. Through the late thoughts and long nights. I don't know why I even cry.
I didn't know we had a love that could even hurt this deep. What do you expect when you've given everything? I don't know how much my heart can take. I've been trying to get by, but it's fake. It's not like I would take you back. Things would be the same. Oh, I gotta give it to you, love. You left your mark, now I'm trying to be okay.
Non è male. Sì. Non arrabbiarti, Linda. Allora, ascoltami. Lo sai che le cose col tempo migliorano sempre. Lui alla fine non ti capisce come ti capisco io. Quindi cerca di essere un po' più paziente. Le cose si aggiusteranno. Vediamoci in questi giorni, va bene? Sei la mia migliore amica, non voglio vederti stare male.
I didn't know we had a love that even went this deep. Guess it makes sense when you give her everything. You wanna fight to make yourself feel justified.
Va bene tesoro, ok?
Truth has a sound.
Sì, ti voglio bene anch'io. A domani, ciao.
Yes, sometimes life as a couple puts us at a crossroads. There are times so hard to get through that everything seems to end. But it's only by looking inside ourselves that we can know the right path to take. Ah, I forgot to tell you that Simon has a tattoo on his arm, just like Fabian, his boyfriend.
Ciao Fabian.
Ciao Simone. Mi sei mancato. Credevo di non vederti più.
The four-leaf clover is extraordinary and lives in a sea of clovers very similar to it. They say that there is one every 5,000, but in reality, there are many, many more.
Ormai është incidamente, vedrò in Spanje oder Italien gehen, die Ferien.
Ich denke, es wird Spanien werden.
Spanje.
Absolut.
Würde ich auch, aber eben, meine Italien, hast du essen, entspannt, ganz chillig. Aber eben,
Italien kenne ich sehr gut.
ja.
This is Linda, an Italian girl who emigrated to Switzerland many years ago. She works in a bar as a waitress, but every day she arrives a little late. Every day Linda prepares dozens of coffees, and at the bar, she sees a lot of people pass by. Sometimes they are regular customers, others are just people passing by.
Ciao, com'è oggi?
Come ieri, ma un minuto dopo. Complimenti.
Giordano.
For Linda, this will be a work day, like any other. Because even today, she will do the usual things in the bar. But in a little while, something will change her day. In those keys, Linda saw something.
Mi hanno detto che a respirare si impara presto e così naturale. Mi hanno detto che puoi respirare ogni secondo, non ci devi pensare. Oggi invece posso dirti che non è vero, e sai perché? Si respira dove l'aria c'è, dove l'aria c'è. L'ho scoperto dove veramente l'aria comincia se sparisce la gente. L'aria comincia dove il sole si arrende e col suo alone colora l'orizzonte. Si respira dove l'aria c'è, dove l'aria c'è. Si respira dove l'aria c'è, dove l'aria c'è, dove l'aria cieca si insinua dentro te.
Giordano, sai per caso di chi sono questi?
Si respira sempre, in ogni momento, ovunque. Si respira solo dove,
Martina?
quando la mente si perde tra note affollate,
Linda?
confuse, stropicciate, le note che scelgo, che canto e che
Linda!
non mi fanno fugare. Dove l'aria c'è, dove l'aria c'è, dove l'aria cieca si insinua, si respira. Dove l'aria c'è, dove l'aria c'è, dove l'aria cieca si insinua dentro.
Meeting up after years can be random, but sometimes luck shows us where. That old garage had for Leonardo a unique charm. It was like an enchanted place. And every time he remembered when his dad used to take him for a ride in the Red Spider, that was a truly magical moment. Because afterwards, in his childhood fantasy, it seemed to him that he had gone faster than the wind. Today is not a good day for Leonardo, it would seem. His gaze has lost the usual joy that he normally has when he sees his spider. Thoughtful and searching for something. Margherita, his girlfriend, has just left him. He can't think of anything else. And all the romantic moments spent with her come rushing back to mind. Memories that are hurting now. How beautiful it was to see a couple so in love. Their eyes had been filled with all the joy that only love can express. Moments in life you never forget. Moments when a look is worth 1,000 words. Unfortunately, that spell is broken, and love has given way to misunderstandings and deep sadness. Love gives immense joy, but also great pain that overwhelms us like the sea waves in a storm. And for this couple, the storm does not subside. To win Margherita back, Leonardo made one last loving gesture.
Dear Margherita, I removed the emblem from my car to give it to you, and, well, you know how much I care about this symbol, which for me represents the heart of my Alfa Romeo, and my luck. I deprived myself of it to show you how much I love you. One day, when you open this letter and read my words to you, you'll understand the reason for all of this, even if when this happens, it'll already be too late.
Dai. Dai, rispondimi. Ciao Pietro.
Ciao Marghe, ciao.
Hai visto Leonardo?
No, non l'ho visto. Hai provato a chiamarlo?
Sì, l'ho chiamato ma non mi risponde, non lo trovo. Vabbè, io vado, se lo senti chiami.
Marghe, aspetta un attimo, Marghe. Margherita! Marghe!
Ragazzi! Ciao, avete visto Leonardo?
No, io l'ho sentito ieri, ma oggi niente.
Perché?
Ma che è successo?
Pronto, signora Maria, sono Margherita. Leonardo è da lei, sa dove... Signora, perché piange? Che è successo, signora? Ma quando? Dove? Cioè, com'è successo?
Too late. Leonardo has left for a journey with no return. The accident with his spider has taken him forever away from his loved ones and the love of Margherita. For Leonardo, the missing four-leaf clover on the car was fatal. As perhaps it was for the driver, Ugo Savoci, who also died in a crash. That day, for technical reasons, the green four-leaf clover was missing on the body of that racing Alfa Romeo, because it had not been painted in time. The very four-leaf clover that, a few months earlier, had brought him so much luck.